naming trophies after players.
We already have the
Um,
Norris change already. We
we
discussed
have,
that one.
yeah, yeah, yes, we have. We last week the NBA changed 6 awards and named them after players. We'll go through it quickly. Michael Jordan Trophy, MVP. Jerry West is for the most clutch player. I really want to see how that they're going to define that, but that's interesting. The Hakeem Olajuwon Trophy, shout out Toronto Raptor. Defensive Player of the Year. Wilt Chamberlain for Rookie of the Year. John Havlicek for Sixth Man of the Year, and George, I lost the name, George Mikan for Most Improved Player. Now, question for you. There's already some NHL awards that are named after players, or and in the case of even GM and coach, those are both named after former GMs and coaches. Is it time to take a look at some of the names?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think so. I think, because I think the NHL has two choices. Like you have the Art Ross, and then you also have the Hart, right?
The Hart and Ted Lindsay. The
Ted
Art
Lindsay.
Ross
My
is
apologies. Yeah,
Art
yeah.
Ross is most points.
Most points. Sorry. Yeah, like Ted Lindsay and the Hart. You have both of those, right? Like you could change one of them.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the Ted Lindsay, there's a really good connection there, right? Because of the work Ted Lindsay did with the NHLPA, and it's players voting on the award, right? So there's the connection there. But there's 2 awards in particular I want to point out, and they're not going to be changed now, but I think they have a very good opportunity to be changed within, let's call it, the next 5 years. The first one is the Selke.
Yeah, that's gonna be
when Patrice Bergeron retires. If that award is not named after him, that's a travesty.
Yeah, I agree.
To me,
I was about to say that too. Like, yeah, like when you think Selke, you think Bergeron and like the consistency he's had with that. So definitely, I agree with that one.
The second one is, and I feel like this might upset a certain fan base, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I think when Alex Ovechkin retires with the most goals scored in the NHL, that Rocket Richard should be changed to the Alex Ovechkin.
Oh
trophy.
Wow!
It's
sorry, yeah, I get it.
I think the reasoning is extremely fair.
Yeah,
right. It's for the guy who scores the most goals, and he scored them, or when he retires, he will have scored the most goals in the NHL. Like. And are there any awards that you look at and say, okay, I think maybe it's time to revamp the name?
No, I'm just like, I understand like where you're coming from with the Richard one.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, I don't know why, because I know Adam's not here to say something, but
okay.
I'm just thinking about what Adam would think, or just for the sake of tradition, what would happen. But I completely understand when Ovechkin, when it's all said and done, he will, fingers crossed, knock on wood, he will win. Like he will be the leading scorer in NHL history. So I could see that happening. I think it's like we've reached a point already with Ovi where it's like he's an institution already, where you could say that he is going to be the best goal scorer ever, and I could see the award changing.
Not only is he gonna he'll be have the most goals in an NHL career. He would have won, and at this point, this moment in time, he has won that trophy 9 times. 9.
That's insane,
right? Like it's an incredible number, and I think the conversation I want to have here is, a lot of people say when we're doing stuff like this that we're, quote, removing history. But I disagree with that. I think I'll put it in quotations, modernizing history. I'm not removing the fact that these players exist, because in 100 years, when none of us are around and there's a whole new crop of players to look at, Do you think in 100 years the James Norris is still going to be the Norris Trophy? Do you think that like I don't think so. I think these awards can be changed. The Hockey Hall of Fame exists for a reason. The
Yeah.
internet exists for a reason. You know what I mean? Like just because they're not the trophy's not named after them does not mean they do not exist.
Yeah, because it even goes back to the goal scoring um aspect we saw in it, that we all know Gordie Howe, we know who he is, but when Ovechkin's gonna pass him, it's not gonna be like, oh, we don't remember who that guy is. Or when Wayne Gretzky passed Gordie Howe, it's not like a bunch of people are saying like, okay, now we forgot Gordie Howe.
Right.
It doesn't. No, it's not like that.
No, it's not. It's we're like it's just I keep coming back to the word modernizing it, and I'm fine with using that word. We're just modernizing what is going on. You still no one's stopping people from having the opportunity, like from going and learning about these things. I'd be really curious to know how many people know the individual things that those people with the name. Okay, I'm going to restart my sentence.
Okay.
I'd be very curious to know how many people actually know what the people that are named after the award did. How many people know the significance of
The Lady
Ted
Bing.
Lindsay?
Oh,
Who?
yeah.
Who was?
Oh, the Lady Bing.
Sure. How is that name? Where did that name come from?
Oh, I know why. I learned this in
Okay,
a lecture.
sure.
So
Wait, what lecture did you learn this in? I need to know. I
I think it
want
was
to know.
like I don't know. It was like I don't know. It's like one of my labs, I think.
Okay.
So apparently, Lady Bing was the wife of Lord Bing, who used to be the Governor General of Canada in the 30s.
Okay.
And apparently, like she used to always just give away awards for like those gentlemanly Canadian, I guess, or someone
Sure.
in politics. I might be. I know it comes from Lady Bing and Lord Bing, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I just remember like yeah, they would give out awards like that, and they just called it the Lady Bing. So it's very, I guess, English Canada focused. I mean the
Yep.
history's there and the roots.
Sure. But I'd be very curious to know how many people actually know that. I know you know that. I know you know that. Like, I'd be curious to know how many people actually understand the significance of why these people have awards named after them. Like, that's the thing to me. I don't think we're removing history. I don't think that's how this works. I don't think if you get rid of an award that we're just suddenly going to forget who these people are. We have
Mm-hmm.
the tools and resources to make sure that doesn't happen.
When I was a kid, I remember I didn't know Conn Smythe was a person.
Yeah.
I actually just thought like, oh, okay, that's just the playoff MVP award. I'll just take it as it is. Like I never questioned it. I don't know why.
Yeah, and like I'll give a personal example. I didn't not know the significance of Ted Lindsay until a few years before we started the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was his significance, right? Like why is he important? I did not know that until a few years before we started the podcast, right? Like but I didn't learn that because the award was named the Ted Lindsay. Like that's what I mean. Like unless I don't know if the names of the awards are making people go search these names would be my argument. Do you have anything else to add? I feel like I
So
went on
who
a
would be your
tangent there.
Norris pick if you were to replace that name?
Oh, okay. I'd argue. I would argue Bobby Orr because I think he completely
Mm-hmm.
revolutionized the way uh of playing defense. Like I think that's
Yeah.
what I know Adam's gonna probably say like Nick Lidstrom or something like that. But who would you pick?
Actually, like, I was leaning. I know people would say Lidstrom. I
Mhm.
was thinking of Bobby Orr, and then again, I mean, like these are at least the positive comments I saw in a lot of social media posts. But people are also saying Ray Bork, which is another example. But
Sure.
I guess yeah, like Bobby Orr himself as well. Like when I use the word institution, it's like that's what he is as well. That I was never alive to see him play, but
Right.
I know Bobby Orr. I know how good he was.
And he doesn't even have an award named after him.
Yeah.
Wild. I really wish Adam was here because I would have just thrown a grenade and said, okay, so who should get the Vesna? but he's not. So maybe we'll
Oh,
save
it's gonna
that.
be Martin Brodeur, of course. So I could just say that now. It's Martin Brodeur should be named after the Vezina.
Okay, you heard it here first. I'm sure Adam will have a rebuttal next time he is on.
Hmm.
But let's let's
But
move
for
on.
now, for now, until the next episode,
Yeah,
the
the
Vesna is
the
officially the Martin
the
Brodeur
Brodeur
Trophy.
that might just have to be the name of the episode, frankly.
Okay.